Greetings all you metamaniacs, this is TMoney G, and today GoodOl'Maurice and I are pleased to give you a first look into one of the most anticipated units in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Han's Millennium Falcon. As with nearly every legendary, this kit is worth the wait. We haven't actually got our hands on the ship to play it, but the footage provided by CG and a look into the kit, Han's Millennium Falcon is designed to bust apart the highly frustrating brick wall timeout Mace meta, which is seeping into ship shards throughout the galaxy. The kit looks fantastic, with one of the best basics in the game, unique buffs that prevent it from being targeted directly, and a whole host of benefits for its allies that massively increase survivability and offensive power.
Before we begin, it's important to briefly have a look at the Home 1, as very few of us are currently using it in the Fleet Arena. Literally, 1% of all players that take first place are doing so with Home 1, but that could be on the rise. We won't get too specific about the capital ship here, but there are a few things worth remembering as we analyze the kit of the new Han's Falcon. Ackbar grants 50% crit damage and 30% protection up to allies that attack out of turn, doubled for rebels. As you will see, Han's Millennium Falcon brings all sorts of assist mechanics with him to the table and instantly turns the rebels' fleet into a damage output machine with insane amounts of survivability. The capital ship also has 2 assist abilities and also a cleanse, which can help shed the breach debuff. The ship's basic attack is called Special Modifications. It's arguably the best basic attack in the entire game. It's a basic attack that deals physical damage, target locks on a crit hit, and dispels all buffs on a target enemy, while calling a rebel ally to assist. And under Home 1, as we just mentioned, that rebel ally is going to get 100% critical damage and 60% protection up. So this is yet another target lock for the rebels that's going to help you proc Biggs' taunt, give him more protection. It's going to dispel things such as taunts, offense up. It will help get rid of the Valor against Mace fleets, and then also provide some survivability to any assisting ship.
The first special belongs to Han Solo, and it's called Watch This, and starts with the Falcon dispelling all debuffs from itself, recovering 50% health and protection, and gaining its unique buff called Outmaneuver. Outmaneuver lasts for 3 turns and can't be copied. It gives the ship 25% evasion in the case of an AoE, but taunt or no taunt, it cannot be targeted while other allies are present. Additionally, much like Grandmaster Yoda's ability, it will gain 35% turn meter for each rebel ally as well as each Empire enemy, almost for certain giving it full turn meter after it uses this ability. Now the ship isn't the fastest one out of the gate, with a speed in the mid-180s, so it will be able to be targeted by ships like Silencer out of the gate. Outmaneuver isn't a locked buff, but since you can't target the ship, it's going to be very hard to remove it. The second special is Chewbacca's, and it's called Punch It. It's an AoE that deals physical damage to all enemies and grants all allies defense penetration up for 2 turns. The attack deals 25% more damage for each dark side enemy and each Empire enemy. This attack is going to be at the core of getting through those super tanky ships up front. I think the best part of this kit may be the unique She May Not Look Like Much. All allies gain 10% critical chance, which is doubled for rebel allies. The Falcon has a 50% chance to assist whenever another rebel ally uses an ability during their turn. Whenever an ally reinforces, the Falcon grants them accuracy up for 2 turns. And if that ally is a rebel, they also gain critical damage up. Additionally, and this is the kicker, when another rebel ally is inflicted with 3 or more different debuffs, the Falcon dispels all debuffs on them.
Alright, the ship's reinforcement ability is called Yahoo! Han's Millennium Falcon is going to come in, give foresight for 2 turns to everyone, and then call all the rebels to assist. And all these rebels, under Ackbar, are going to have 100% critical damage, and then also gain 60% protection up. The foresight can come in handy as Anakin has become a very, very popular reinforcement under just about any capital ship. So if you time it properly, all your ships are going to have foresight. So Anakin will come in, and the AI favors the AoE, rendering him absolutely useless. Also, it's going to reduce the cooldown of the allied rebel capital ship by 1 for all abilities except call reinforcement. The only rebel capital ship we have currently is Home 1, but I find it interesting that they just said rebel, which kind of leaves the door open for any future rebel capital ships.
This kit looks incredible and truly reads like the legendary ship we've been waiting for. Before we go into the main functions that will challenge and likely upset the current Mace meta, I'm going to summarize the depth within its kit. One of the core mechanics of this kit is the sheer number of assists, calling assists on its basic, assisting 50% of the time whenever a special ability is used by another rebel, calling all allies to assist as a reinforcement that will contribute to both the survivability of rebel ships under Akbar and the amount of damage needed to take back tanky front lines. In addition to the cleanse from Akbar, the unique cleanse is really out of this world. Whenever there are more than 3 unique debuffs, it'll just cleanse the ship. In addition, Han's Millennium Falcon has outmaneuvered the unique buff, it target locks ships, it gives defense penetration up with bonuses, critical chance up for rebels, accuracy up, critical damage up, foresight, reduces cooldowns. This ship reads like Revan's when we first reviewed it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
For those of you on more veteran ship shards, you're seeing Mace overrunning the current ship meta. It's extremely frustrating and very, very good defensively. This ship will just rip apart Mace fleets and Houndstooth as well. We mentioned earlier on the video that Home 1 has a cleanse, and then also Han's Millennium Falcon is going to passively cleanse any rebel ship that has 3 or more debuffs on it. If you think of the traditional Mace fleets that we're seeing now, they're very debuff heavy. You know, you've got your Starfighter that does offense down and defense down. You have lots of target lock mechanics. You have Anakin that does buff immunity, healing immunity. You have Vader coming in, dropping dots on every ship, as well as target lock. So it's going to be very, very easy against Mace fleets to acquire 3 debuffs. And then they'll instantly be gone, including, most importantly, Breach. You'll be able to get through Houndstooth much, much easier, taking out key enemies such as Anakin, such as the TIE Advanced. The relatively squishy ships you'll be able to take out very, very quickly with all the bonus crit damage that you're getting from all the assisting. It's a very, very good ship and really brings the rebels right back, well, not right back, but right into the meta, probably for the first time ever in the game. So using the Han's Millennium Falcon will force your opponent to make changes to their fleet. Bringing in ships such as the IG-2000, TIE Advanced. These are ships that come in and will put 2 debuffs on your squad. The 5's a ship which is rising its popularity. Really gets handicapped by this as his basic attack lands 2 debuffs, and he also has target lock in his kit. So any ship that brings a lot of debuffs to the table, you know, you can use like TIE Reaper, comes in off the bench, puts defense down on everybody. If they already have 2 debuffs on, when the TIE Reaper comes in, it's basically just going to cleanse. You know, like if you bring in an IG-2000 or a TIE Advanced, basically you've invested 100 reinforcement abilities to cleanse the other team of all their debuffs when you bring them off the bench. So you got to be very, very careful when facing the Millennium Falcon. Poor IG-2000. Poor little fella. Everyone's just getting them developed. Everyone's panic farming him for the Falcon, and now you can't even use him.
Thanks for joining us. I'm TMoney G, and the other voice you heard was GoodOl'Maurice. You can join us every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also come and click on that link to our Discord and join us there. We've got a great community, and we'd love you to be a part of it.